All black people did not come from freaking Africa. Because it's going to be very, very difficult for you to make it in that goddamn ship at the bottom of that goddamn ship for 3 months. When the food get low. Do the math. For real, for real. Do the motherfucking math. Seriously, and just ushering everybody in on boats the long goddamn way. They not stopping. Ain't no bathrooms on that motherfucker. Come on now. Come on now. Do the math. That's all you gotta do is do the motherfucking math. For real, for real. The human body won't last that long. You on a boat for 30 days, you ain't eating nothing but fucking slop. I mean, and feces and shit of the motherfucker that's sitting next to you. You gonna die of disease, man. It's gonna be like 3 black people left whose bodies are physically fit enough to be able to withstand all that pressure. Under the guy.
Here outside the federal courthouse here in Lower Manhattan, and this is where Judge Loretta Preska has ordered that January 1st release date of more than 170 names associated with a civil lawsuit that was settled some time ago here. But many of those names that will be released are Jeffrey Epstein's close friends, associates, and some of his victims. Now, the judge is also allowing those individuals who would like to keep their names concealed or redacted to file an appeal to make their case before the release of those names in less than 2 weeks. Now, many of those names that will come out certainly are known and notable, including former presidents, but they are all part of a now settled civil lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell brought by Virginia Giuffre. Now, Giuffre accused Maxwell of helping Epstein abuse her by arranging travel plans along with setting up meeting times and places around the world to facilitate her sexual abuse. Maxwell is now serving 20 years in a federal prison after she was convicted in 2021 for her role in a scheme to sexually exploit and abuse multiple teenage girls with Epstein over a 10-year period. Now, Epstein died by suicide in a Manhattan federal jail in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. The judge also noting in her order that some of the names that will be released have already been revealed because some of those individuals have spoken publicly about their relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Meanwhile, at least 11 names will not be released, including 8 people who have been identified as minor victims of sexual abuse. Last night on Banfield, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Josh Schiffer talked about why some people are desperately fighting to have their names redacted.
So there's a lot of reasons someone wouldn't want their name associated with someone whose name is literally everything bad in high society and regular society, for that matter. So if you were someone of particular current, relevant importance, think someone big in finance, think someone big in politics. Jeffrey Epstein knew everyone. When you said earlier he palled around with royalty.
Now, Virginia Giuffre also has accused Britain's Prince Andrew of sexually assaulting her when she was 17 years old and being sexually trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein. Both Prince Andrew and Epstein were very known associates. Now, Prince Andrew has denied those claims. However, he did agree to pay Giuffre a multi-million-dollar settlement. Adrian.
All right. Thank you very much, Dre, for your report.
Sure he's going to be cool with me just riding up on his ass and they're going to rat us out?
I say we keep moving. Tyrell waits for his moment and drives inside. I make sure we've got cameras rolling. This place isn't only the largest underground facility in the area. They say it's the largest in the world. Look at this. They got room for 2 lanes of 18-wheelers. The road literally goes on for miles. Look, there, it's branching off again. Who knows where that leads? Maybe even to the Huff House.
Do you think they're watching us right now?
Yeah.
And this thing's hooked up to railroad, too.
This facility covers 50 million square feet, all underground, all climate controlled. They got warehouses for food, data, all sorts of things. Offices, manufacturing, even underground farming, and stockpiles of crude oil. Oh yeah, there's plenty of space to live in. You can fit thousands of people here, if you want to save that many.
Well, you could definitely hide out from the world above via stuff like this, no doubt about it.
I never knew places like this existed in the world.
Yeah, this
is scale. You can store anything now.
This is huge. This is an underground city. And there are dozens of these across the region. This is starting to look a lot like conspiracy fact.
That definitely answers the question of why here.
Yep.
Because you don't have that type of ground and rock work generally anywhere else in the country.
We head back into daylight. And what do you know? Just across the way, railroad tracks. And parking lots full of buses and green energy vehicles. It's like they got door-to-door transportation for the chosen few. When it's time to move inside and weld those doors shut.
Is that a coincidence? Just happens to be there.
I don't necessarily think it'd be a good place to live, but it would be a good place to survive.
Giant cave that's big enough to house hundreds of these trucks and trailers. There's a train track running through here. Just to give you an idea, back here, there's a regular-sized truck. See how tall that is up there? It's just incredible. Anyway, having a great time, learning lots.
Don't let them pull the wool over your eyes. It's a long way down that rabbit hole.
His guide, the White Rabbit, promises he's got something even more impressive in store.
So if you think that's something, just wait, you see what I
stopped us from meditating, they started us to praying. Praying is the opposite of meditating. Hear me out now. Praying is you talking to God. But if God know everything, why you talking to God? If God know everything, God know what I'm going to say. I can say my words. And if God know everything, God need to be talking to me. Because I don't know everything. I don't need to be talking to God. Prayer is stupid. It's telling a God that know everything as if it don't know everything. And meditation is the opposite, is listening to the God in you. There's a God in you, my brother, that know everything you need to do to live your best life. And prayer is you closing your eyes, meditating, and shutting the hell up and let him talk. And he'll tell you what to do. That's your higher self. And God is us using our mouth to chatter over the fucking what the higher self saying we need to do. To tell fucking this sky daddy a bunch of shit we like and don't like about our reality. When if we stop talking and go into darkness, we will master our reality. Versus praying to a master to master our reality. See the difference? You become the master in meditation. You pray to the master in prayer. You listen to the self in meditation, and you ramble words to an all-knowing God in prayer.
The universe doesn't speak English. It speaks frequency. And this is the most honest language in the world. Think about it. If you say something in a language, you may doubt it inside of you. Or you could even lie to yourself. Frequency doesn't lie. If your thoughts, mind, and desires are not aligned, you may not reach that frequency.
So God is an energy that is used to create something. So you know souls, right?
Yeah.
Souls have the God energy in them.
Okay.
So let's say you took away the God energy from anything. It would just become nothing. Field. It's a field.
That's fascinating.
You can't ask it stuff. You can pray to it.
You can?
Yeah, you can. You can.
So
if someone doesn't believe in God, then I guess you don't believe in yourself, because basically every single living thing, and not even living thing, every single atom, every single piece of energy is made from the God source.
Wow.
So 13.8 billion years ago, the entire universe was reduced to a singularity, a particle smaller than a quark. However, if gravity is always working, i.e. if you jumped off this building, you're not going to fall 15 seconds later. You're going to fall immediately. So if gravity is always working, then and if the singularity was always there, like some atheists try to say, then the universe should have no age. It should be infinitely old. It's not. It has an age. It's 13.8 billion years old. And something can't come from nothing because it would have to exist in order to cause itself to exist, which is illogical. So therefore, something other must have created the singularity. And that something other we observe as God.
What is God?
Okay, so a lot of people think God is, quite in the biblical sense, a guy sitting up on a cloud who controls the universe, frankly, and has created all life. But my definition of God is not like that. I don't believe God is person or entity. God is just another form of energy. Well, actually is energy. Himself, well, not even himself, itself. For the fact that you look at the Bible and other really, awesome but extremely vague and unreliable sources in religion that, hold these sources that we find and facts that we find, or so-called facts that we find, and really a lot of people think it's just about faith. But if you relate the Bible to quantum physics and apply most of the laws actually in less of a figurative sense, but more of a literal sense, and replace it with things like the universe, you'll eventually find out that it explains in-depth quantum physics and astrophysics, experiments and theories. Well, maybe not theories, because maybe now they're proven. Who knows? Maybe the Bible isn't a story of something that happened on Earth, but maybe a story of how our universe began. For the fact that, honestly, I don't really buy into the literal biblical sense. Like, God is literally a guy who looks like us, who sits up in an alternate realm that's in our clouds and, watches over all of us. But I guess you could say that he's an energy form that created all, and is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. God, or energy, lives within us, through us, and
is us.
And is us, frankly.
So you said what? That God is the energy that is in us, created us, and is us. Is that your definition?
Yep.
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Sort of, yeah. God is energy. That's my thing. And I mean, like, you look at dimensional theory, and eventually we have, a singularity at the beginning of the universe that is energy. And then, eventually that begins to slow down in vibration due to entropy or some other law of that sort. And then, first you get photonic light, and then that slows down, and then we get matter, and then that slows down. And then who else knows what comes next? We have gravity, and then we have time, all coming in at one sense. And I mean, does that sound like origin story to you? It kind of does a little bit to me.
If you want to do something, you just need to believe it, and you can't just say, I believe I can do this, I believe I can do that, because it doesn't work. You really need to think it in your heart. And I mean by in your heart, right in your heart, in the middle of your heart.
Morgan, the Vanderbilts, Rockefellers, and the Warbirds. The pictures of a black little girl holding what? Cotton in her hand. The placeholder is of a little child's shirt. Cost? $38,314. Who on earth would go to Etsy to buy something this expensive? Do you guys remember some time ago there was a big debacle about Wayfair? They had some things going on that people were not sure about why they were pricing things a certain way. Do you remember that? Because I clearly remember there being a big spectacle about some $30,000 drawers and some $50,000 chests and some $5 million so-and-sos. Well, we thought that was done. We thought Wayfair was a one-off, and, they got caught with slipping, and no one thought anything of it. Well, we think that Wayfair had been just a precursor. It was just a prelude to what was to come. Lo and behold, we have Wayfair 2.0, but it's not Wayfair. Wayfair 2.0 comes in the form of Etsy. Now, before you think we're saying, oh, we're stretching, just hear me out, and I'll lay out for us a groundwork for why we believe what we believe. Now, when looking into Etsy, everything looked fine, just like their beginnings. Nice, cutesy, colorful, little dainty things that they can sell, and everyone can put their own items up there, and you can get your money, and blah, 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 blah. Well, when you look a little bit deeper into Etsy, you'll find some kind of crazy things going on. One of the people that back Etsy is a place called Venture Capital. And if you had not heard of Venture Capital, don't feel bad. Most people have not. But in case you are in that realm and you have heard of Venture Capital, there is one thing that I think many have not heard about Venture Capital. That is that between 1939 and 1945, kind of odd years there too, by the way, they had been primarily dabbling with a certain type of family. Now, I'm going to name some names, and you can, for your own self, go ahead and research what they've been linked to. The first one should pop right off because they've been linked to another individual who put himself away in prison by use of a bed sheet, although we all think he did not do that to himself. The first one is J.P. Morgan. Next one, the Vanderbilts. The other one, Rockefellers and the Warburgs. If those names sound familiar, it should, because they have been notorious as the ringleaders of what we would call the cabal. Let's call them that. The ones behind everything. Money, 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 and they never run out, and they've been around forever. Conspiracy after conspiracy have revolved around their name. They're behind this, they're behind that, they're behind music, they're behind movies, they're behind the news, they're behind everything. And it just so happens that venture capital is in cahoots with those people. Now, JP Morgan is very essential for you to remember. It should be very essential because they just settled with a certain individual about a certain thing. I think we all know what we're talking about. And they are in cahoots with Etsy. So now we'll fast forward to what Etsy is doing, or what we believe they're doing. Let's put it like that, because I don't want to say that I know for 100% fact that they're doing it. Although, if you know, you know, right? So let's go with this. Etsy has been found selling, and they sell. That's good that they sell because people make money. However, what they sell is a little bit more crazy. So I'm going to quote for you some prices and some things. However, what we have just realized is that a lot of these prices are changing. And I don't mean changing in terms of going back to what would be considered regular. They're going up, almost as though it's an auction. But who knows? Anyway, if you go to Etsy and you type in certain words, one in particular would be called Cotton Child. Look up Cotton Child if you get some time, and you will come across a very odd painting. This painting is of a little black girl. And yes, there is a reason why I mention her name, because when you see what she's holding, you understand why I'm mentioning her name and color. Because today, you would think today, this would be canceled. There would be an outcry for Etsy to take that down. What is wrong with you? The pictures of a black little girl holding what? Cotton in her hand. Do you want to guess how much that's going for? I'll help you so you don't have to guess. $3,772. A painting. Now, again, like we said, we looked at this live, real time. It was still up. And the prices that we're going to give you may change by the time you go look at it. Do not be surprised if it does. The more concerning one was almost right next to it. It was called Placeholder. Will add listing later. The placeholder is of a little child's shirt. Underneath it, born cute. Cost? $38,314. I've never bought a shirt that was more than $6. Maybe, okay, I lie. I may have bought one for like $15 when I was it was a Nike shirt, really nice, white shirt, looked clean, crisp. That was the most I ever paid for a shirt. Okay, let me make sure I get the number. $38,000 for a shirt. Maybe the placeholder is miscorrected. Okay, we'll go with that. Right next to it, custom patchwork, $49,999. Now, understand this. If these prices are legit,
And if there are things that you can just go buy. Who on earth would go to Etsy to buy something this expensive? Conspiracy theorists, come forward. I think we've spoken to the ones who don't believe in conspiracy theories already. So let's talk to the conspiracy theorist. Do you believe it? Because I consider myself a little bit of I'm not fully there yet, but I'm getting there. I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. I'm having a hard time with my brain connecting a statue or a T-shirt or a painting to the astronomical numbers that they're offering. Because it sounds an awful lot like something else that happens globally. And they just had a movie about it too. Jim Caviezel was in it. And anyway, it had some topics in there, you know, about that stuff. It could be that. It could 100% be that. Or it could be 0% that. We want you to think about that for a minute, though. Just marinate on that for just 1 second, because I'm going to come back to that real quick. I do want to go into something that I'm familiar with, and that's art. I got my degree in art, and I am not saying that I'm an awesome artist of any kind. I just know art, and I can appreciate it. I've also been privy to some arts, what should I call them? Galleries. And I've been to a few of them. And I've been to a few where there are some really, really good artists. And the paintings and the sculptures are, man, I'm sorry, they never got no 50K for that. They never got no 49K for that. They never got no 39K for that. They never got anything close to that. You have to have a name to get that kind of pricing. You don't just go on Etsy, drop a painting and say, give me 3K. That's not how it works. There's something more. There has to be, especially for the price to fluctuate between us looking one time and looking another. And it didn't fluctuate this way. It fluctuated that way. And when you look, it may fluctuate even more. There was something called an auction I mentioned to you, like that, this auction idea, where you put something out and you put it out for people to take a look, and you put a set price upon it. And you tell people, what would you pay for this? And after a while, you see the price going up, and you hear the and but Etsy doesn't have that. They just have a mouse clicker, click, 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 going up, 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 up. The price itself should be set, wouldn't you think? Why would it fluctuate? This isn't like it's just the value is going up over 5, 10, 15 years, you know, because that's how paintings happen. Usually the artist dies, though, before the painting can really get any traction and money. But it's happening in real time in a very short space of time. Should I not speculate? I think we should. I think we should speculate, because the same thing happened in Wayfair. The exact same thing. So what we should do is this. This is our challenge from Too Strong to you in the audience. Go to Etsy. Do your due diligence. Type in, and we'll give you the base things. To start at, just go look up Cotton Child. Go look up Cotton Child and look at the surrounding pictures and offerings around it. And for yourself, deduce whether you believe there is any merit to any of the things you're seeing being worth what they're placed at. Because for us, we did not see, okay, so I'll give you some privy to the backstage workings of Too Strong.
Now, what is going on, y'all? What is going on this week? What is popping this week, y'all? This week is not even over with. Today is Friday, my people. This shit is not even done. We got so many distracting going on. We got so many motherfucking news going on right now. Just this week alone, a lot of things happening. My people, I woke up this morning. Vin Diesel is on the news now. If you guys didn't know who that is, Vin Diesel is the guy that played this movie, this actor that's played this so-called the Fast movie. You know what I'm saying? My people, he have been accused for sexual battery assaults. So now, that's why we doing Hollywood. Hollywood, don't do this like this, bro. We know the list is coming. Why do you want to bring the list one by one? You know what I'm saying? Why do you want to waste so many time in bringing this list out one by one? Too much distracting. We know the shit already. Hollywood, Bring the whole entire list out. Don't do that shit one by one. You know what I'm saying? We know there's a distraction going on that a lot of people is not ready for. Okay? I want to let you guys know something real quick. Check this out. There will be a Giants coming out. Get ready for this Giants, y'all. My people, it's about the time. My people, it's about the time. So-called black people, y'all worry about reparation. This shit will be gone soon. You won't be getting reparation. You won't be getting no reparation. That shit is over with. You want your land back. That's reparation. So now, stop getting distracted. Because that shit about, this right here is about to kick in, y'all. 2024 is not even beginning yet. And that shit's already upside down. Why do they bring in that shit one by one? They don't want the whole entire list to come out. It's because, y'all, something big getting ready to take place. That's the reason why they go under the bunker. Because they know there's a Giants about to reveal soon. Get ready. I'm out. Peace.
A lot of work. That's a lot of work. Just those seconds right there. That's a lot. And let's think about that now. Can this be made by man? Yes, it can. Can this be created in an editing software? I'm sure it can. Can it look like it's real? It can. But I'm talking about when I brighten this thing up, I said, nah, that thing there. What is that? I brighten that thing sky high because when you insert something, when you brighten something up, you can tell where it was inserted. Like, not all, even when you do color correction, you can see, I can see hot and cold zones. Those of you that know color correction, y'all know what I'm talking about. Hot and cold zone. I don't see no, I'm talking about none. No clipped, no overlay, no blend. I didn't see any of that right here. Let's continue.
This holiday season.
Excuse the dinosaur. He a dinosaur.
That thing turned again. All right. Now it's about to go into another. Look at that, John. This is a different video, different person.
So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and zoom in so y'all can see this is not. Okay, there it is, the face. That's definitely a face, and the moon looks like it's some stuff that's coming off of the moon. And there he is. There's the face.
All right, hold on, y'all. All right, hold on. Again, information purposes.
Don't walk in front of my phone.
I need y'all to tell me what this
Jamie.
is. Now, and then I'm gonna get deeper. But just, you know, I'm just saying, because let's just say this is a holo. Never mind. Hold on. Let me wait. Before we go deeper, let me wait. Hold up. We about to get into the yes. We about to get into that. Who said that? I couldn't see it. It went so fast. Somebody know. I mean, I feel what y'all should know. I was just about to say hologram, but hold up. So, because that's the only explanation. Let me get into that right now. That's the only explanation. Especially with it moving, when the person moves, different angles, and it's beaming up there like it's from a spotlight. Man, like you can tell that it's being broadcasted, beamed. It's being beamed. Oh man. This is their type of project that they working on. Been working on it for a minute. And it's being beamed in the sky. I'm gonna slow it down in order to make whoever see it believe that that thing is real. So God forbid if something was to take place, they can easily blame it on quote unquote
aliens. To go back to what I was saying earlier, there's no way an unidentifiable flying object is going to be flying around Air Force One without it being shot down. The reports would say shot down. Not no spotted, and that's it. Keep in mind, this is back to back. So if people seeing these videos that was posted October, November, here we are in December, talking about, listen, an unidentifiable object flying around Air Force One, as if the president can't make a phone call on speed dial. He could press 1 and jets is there in 3 seconds. Are you kidding me? As fast as them fighter jets are? There's no way. No. None. And he just gonna continue on with his day? Land in Los Angeles like everything's sweet? No way, bruh. And then, for many different reasons. Number one, that technology exists. Number two, so does deepfake. Number three, it has been used in more than just movies. And since y'all want me to beat around the bush about talking about the war and blah, 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 I want the chat to say the name of what I'm talking about. And I can give my opinion and state that I believe that those videos are deepfake. The majority of them. Oh, I'm talking about if you hand America, if you hand the American citizens billions of dollars, ain't gonna be no war. You hand the American citizens billions of dollars, everybody shutting up. Everybody getting along. It ain't gonna be no black and white issues. Ain't gonna be no racial issues. Ain't gonna be no civil war. Ain't gonna be, I'm talking about that same money that you gave to the folks over there, out there, and we can't name a person that live out there, you handed that to the so-called American citizens, all problems will be resolved. Everybody will shut up, okay? I'm talking about everybody would not be complaining. Everybody will have what they want, do what they want, and may even respect the government more. Okay? Shoot, and whoever implemented that president will be the president for life. Understand what I'm saying? No matter if you Democrat or Republican, if you pass that and hand billions to the American citizens, what? For example, I saw somebody focus on home. You did all that crap, and it got everybody involved, putting up the flag and handing us fake videos, trying to make us feel sorry. They do that all the time with all these foreign countries. And that's cool. We show love. We pray for blah, 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 blah. Justice for such and such, right?
Sorry.
But I'm talking about when have you seen any of these countries do the same for us? When? Somebody in the chat, please. Anybody. Was there some folks out in, hold on, let me choose my words wisely here. Was there some folks out in any country that said, look, let me put up justice for, pray for any American citizen? Can y'all name that? Can we name the country of a continent that did anything like that with us? Who said that? All right. I'm going to keep it moving. Now, the videos that this is about to get into with the rest of this video.
You can take those chemicals and put it in dog manure and make it taste like chicken McNuggets. Right now, we could drink strawberry soda, artificially flavored, and we read the ingredients on the can. We're not going to find strawberries as an ingredient, but it smells like strawberry and it tastes like strawberry. Why? The chemicals. The chemical capital is in New Jersey. Chemicals for your ice cream, for your burgers, your cakes, for everything. These people can take those chemicals and put it in dog manure and make it taste like chicken McNuggets.
This one now, yeah.
He's like, I'm at the West Hall.
We are literally driving to the Central Hall right now in the Tesla tunnel. We literally just got in. I saw your photos and I'm going to laugh because you say, I just got here. We're leaving.
We lived here 5 years and I've never been down here.
Well, this has only been open since January of 2021.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I'm like, how did I miss that? I know that's my
like all the custom builders. Hi, at least you're going faster than 25. Thank you.
Besides what we're doing right now? So, technically, we're just a transportation service for the convention center. Eventually, we will be a transportation service for the city to an extent. Because after SEMA last year, we did get approved for 30 more miles of tunnels to be put in. Resort World was our first expansion onto that. I do believe Encore is going to be our next. But eventually, when it's all said and done, we'll be going up and down the strip, down the Fremont Street.
This tunnel?
Well, not this one specifically, but like more expansion.
Okay.
A few other off-strip locations, Allegiant Stadium, and even up to the airport.
Wow. That's dope.
This reminds me
Reminds me of Universal Studios.
I wonder why. A little bit.
Are they going to turn it into a train versus cars?
So cool.
No, not that I know of. I do believe it will always be Teslas down here. The one you may be
Lampposts spraying mist on the street below.
Smart technologies. There are sockets where you can add additional sensors, and you can put security cameras, you can put air quality monitors, many different types of application that can help optimize the operations of local governments like counties and cities across the state.
Did your city make the list?
That's European. And they'll tell you in the history that black and white are legal statuses. They have nothing to do with complexion. Nope, not at all. And guess what? That's not just here. That's all over the world. Our people here who've been miseducated from European colonialism are the only ones that don't know it. And we keep on arguing the low status and then get mad because people treat us accordingly.
Right. So when the Moors say that they not black,
but that's why they're called status.
But they will say, I'm a free white person.
Yes,
you're
now
dealing with status.
Go get law book.
You ain't dealing with the color of complexion.
Now, come on.
The disgraced financier was facing additional federal charges of operating a sex trafficking ring involving dozens of underage girls when he committed suicide in a Manhattan jail in 2019. Prince Andrew and former Victoria's Secret CEO Les Wexner are among the 13 people who have tried unsuccessfully to remain anonymous. But others are asking too. There is Doe 107, who is begging the judge to remain secret, saying it would put her life at risk if her name was revealed. So what other names might we see on January 1st or 2nd? Earlier, I spoke with investigative reporter Vicky Ward, author of Vicky Ward Investigates on Substack, who's been covering the Epstein story closely for years. Vicky, there's a lot of speculation about whose names will be on this list. Do you think there'll be any big surprises?
So I'm a little skeptical of the idea there'll be huge names that we don't already know, simply because Virginia Giuffre already made accusations against very prominent names back in 2014. And that was, in fact, the genesis of this lawsuit that now is being, bits are being unredacted, the lawsuit with Ghislaine Maxwell. So that back then, she did name big names. She named Governor Bill Richardson, Senator George Mitchell, John Luke Brunel. I named those three because they have since died. She named Bill Clinton, who denied all the allegations. She named Professor Alan Dershowitz, and they now have settled their legal dispute, and she says she may have been mistaken on that one.
Jeffrey Epstein was known to take pictures of all of his associates with women, and he was even rumored to have videos of many of these men in compromising positions, potentially. Whatever happened to those pictures and videos, and might we ever see them?
Well, it's a great question, Elizabeth. You know, we don't know. There are so many things about Jeffrey Epstein that we don't know. We are going to learn a lot that we don't already know. Maybe not so much about bold-faced names that take us by surprise, but about the ecosystem directly around Jeffrey Epstein, the other women who work for him, who sadly ended up grooming yet more women, housekeepers, butlers, the whole ecosystem that we know he was so effective in manipulating. And I think that, you know, there are people who are going to be embarrassed. You know, the details in Virginia's complaint against Maxwell are very difficult to read.
They are. They are. I'm curious, you obviously knew Jeffrey Epstein quite well from all your reporting on him. He was quite cooperative until he realized that you were really reporting on him. You also knew Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm just curious if there's more that she knows than has been made public, and if she knows more, why she isn't revealing more, for example, to get a lighter sentence.
She hasn't, and you know, it was one of the most frustrating things, Elizabeth, covering her trial, was that all these names of these prominent men they sort of flashed up in evidence, but just to disappear again because they weren't really part of the central case against her. You're right, Ghislaine Maxwell has never talked. Could she get a lighter sentence? You know, who knows? There's also an awful lot around all of this that, you know, private deals have been struck between other victims and lawyers. There are settlements, I think, that we don't know about because the scope of this is so enormous.
Right.
And we don't know how much that comes into play here.
So do you think, as Virginia Roberts, she's busy saying today that a lot of people are going to be really nervous when these names are made public. Do you think people are nervous?
Yes. I think, you know, I've been told, we'll see, there is one prominent academic who is going to be embarrassed. And I know from my own reporting that there are names that are not household names, but who were caught up in this scheme, who, you know, who are not going to want having their names out there, and this is sort of the day of reckoning.
The pic behind me, that's Cahokia Mound. This one is in Arizona. This one is in Mexico. You see, the point is, America's the real ancient Egypt. We have so many mounds and pyramids here. It's unrivaled to the rest of the world. We got over 2,300 pyramids here. This right here is the Grand Canyon that actually hosts the Red Sea. We can't make this stuff up, guys. We got to look at this thing with open eyes. This video, we're going to take a look at Cahokia Mound. We're going to understand more about it, why they did it, and how they built it. And we're going to find out that America was the real ancient Egypt. Because the truth is even stranger than fiction. A lot of people don't know this, but Cahokia Mound was modeled after the stars, Orion constellation in particular. This is an aerial view of Cahokia, and this is what it is from the sky. You could see it's modeled after Orion constellation. And here's a depiction of Orion constellation. You can see how it matches up perfectly. Now, I want you to watch this video.
Is there an Egyptian civilization in the United States? This is Monk's Mound, found in Collinsville, Illinois. Its base is about the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza, and it is many times larger than the Pyramid of the Sun in Mexico. If we look at a map of the Mississippi River, we can see many cities named after mounds and many cities named after Egyptian cities like Cairo in Illinois and Memphis in Tennessee. There are mounds absolutely everywhere along the Mississippi River, going all the way down to Mexico. Back in the 1800s, there was also rumors of an Egyptian find in the Grand Canyon. There was official newspaper articles that said they found gold artifacts and mummies. The mound builders of the Mississippi also created mummies from their dead. Where did they learn this practice that seems so Egyptian? Why did they build pyramids, and why are there so many cities named after Egyptian cities next to these mounds along the Mississippi River?
Knowing what you know now, I bet you're going to go back and read those history books a little bit differently now, huh? That's because they lied to you about it.
And it came to pass on the third day in the morning that there were thunders and lightnings and a thick cloud upon the mount.
Yep, America's the real ancient Egypt.
I've shared here on this channel that God says that this America, I'm not speaking of Canada, I'm not speaking of anywhere else, this USA, the Lord says that this country made a covenant with these creatures in the past. A covenant is a sworn promise with two or more parties that fully understand what's on the table. And God says that for access to technology, for access to weaponry, for access to knowledge, America gave these creatures the right to come and live on the soil with us and operate in the society. Go and look at the prophecy that is entitled Hiding in Plain Sight. Aliens among us. There is witness protection for aliens here. The ones that look like us are allowed to be outside. They have businesses. They marry people. They babysit the kids of the people at the Pentagon because they are supposedly gentle, meaning that they have human-like proclivities. They will not take your child and rip your child piece from piece. They will bake cookies and give it to your child as your child does homework in the kitchen of their bakery. Go and listen to that prophecy and see the stunning revelations that God has given me in my lifetime. And I am now sharing with you at his request, no, command. But in that prophecy, the Lord says that America has aliens in custody that have made no secret of their desire to kill humanity. The Lord says they have openly expressed their desire to kill human beings. And so those ones are held deep, deep under the ground in bunkers, and they are never allowed to see the light of day. They're held under, I guess, mass control, mass incarceration, something like that, because they have clearly shown that